Hello, I'm Paul Gordon, and I'd like to welcome you to this next edition of the MeetYourAngels.com podcast. And this is the first week for your coaching session. So, in our first intro video, we asked you to get a notebook. So, hopefully, you have that with a pen in hand. And for this first week, I'd like to set some ground rules or to kind of explain why we're doing all of this. I believe, and it says in the Bible, that we're created in the image and likeness of God. So we basically are fundamentally good. We have a nature within which is not only human, but also we have a partially divine nature, which is the capacity to love, a capacity to do good. And along with this life that we have, hopefully our goals are in alignment with who we are in our inner core. So the problem is most people do not know who they are at their inner core, what their values are, what their strengths are, what their beliefs are. So in this process of watching these videos and working with me, hopefully you're going to really become intimate with yourself to discover who you are in an inner level. And then later on, we'll look at what I call the authentic self. So they say that actions speak louder than words. So are you or aren't you in alignment with your inner core? So if you value honesty, yet in your actions you're not honest, then you're out of alignment. So that's later on. First of all, we need to discover who we are at the inner core. So fundamentally, I believe that we come to know all of this through meditation and through listening to our instincts, which I believe are inspired by our angels. We can listen to this inspiration. It's just a matter of paying attention. So I'll start off with a song that I remember from the earliest of ages. I believe I was in first grade when I first really started to become aware of this as a real way to get to know not only yourself, but to develop a wonderful relationship with God. And the song is called Listen to the Silence. And it goes like this. Listen, listen to the silence. Listen, listen for the words of the Lord, or listen for truth. Listen, listen, for he speaks in quiet times. So, beginning today and throughout the rest of your life, hopefully you're going to be developing a practice of listening. Listening for God, and this is how we develop an intimacy, not only with ourselves, but with our environment, with our relationships with the people we love, and also with God, our Creator. And in this practice of listening, in the beginning, a lot might be going on in your head. You might be thinking a lot and analyzing a lot. Eventually, as you make an investment in the spiritual life, you'll begin to, your mind will start to go quiet, and you'll become lost in God, or you'll become lost in the silence, but actually it's where you're found. So each and every day, I would like you to start to spend time in the quiet as much as you can. In the beginning, if 15 minutes might be a lot for some people, shoot for that. Eventually, I'd love to see you spend half an hour at a time, once, twice a day, as much as possible. Because it's in that silence that these things are going to be presented to you by God that you should examine in your life. And another tool that I use is journaling. And I'll give you topics through these videos about what you should be writing about. So when you go to the silence and you sit down in your comfortable chair in a quiet place, away from the phone, away from the kids and all that, try to get away. If you need to, go to the park or go somewhere out in nature or some quiet place with your journal that hopefully you have in hand now. And I would start off by saying, Lord, I really want to do your will. I want to be a good servant of yours. I want to have a wonderful life filled with love, happiness, and joy. So please show me in my life those things that I really need to pay attention to that are going on, what's causing me stress. And my goal, Lord, is to know who I am at my inner core. Who have you made me to be? What is my life purpose? I'm using a lot of words right now, but hopefully you get the idea of what we're talking about. And for the next week, as much as possible, I'd like you to set some special time aside to listen to the silence. So when you start off in the silence, you say this little prayer. Say, Lord, I really want to have a good life. I want to do what is right. I want to have a life of love, happiness, and joy. What is it you want me to know in order to attain that? And then you stop. When you ask a question, you should listen. So now that you're doing that, and you're listening, you're going to start to hear things. And you should write those down. You don't have to write them down right then and there, but because this is the beginning of your journey of, really trying to get to know, it's probably a good idea to write it right then and there so you don't forget. And you just write what comes to your mind. You can even write down that sentence in your journal and say, Lord, I want to have a wonderful life and I want to do what you want me to do. Show me how to love. Show me how to be happy. Show me how to have joy. And in your journal, these things will be revealed to you, and you'll begin to see the goodness that you do have. And eventually, we can look at the things that you need to work on, etc. But let's just, for this first week, practice going to the silence with your journal and writing down what comes to mind. And then typically what happens in a coaching situation with me is we meet on a regular basis over the phone, and then we discuss what you learned in the silence. And each week I give new topics for you to go through, and based on what we share, then we might tailor it based on what you discover. I'll give you little homework assignments. But if you aren't able to call me, then definitely try to watch these videos on a regular basis and keep going to your journal. And visit my website. I have many articles, many different videos and audio recordings that you should listen to, and those will help to inspire you as well. And if you can't talk to me, my phone number is on the website, meetyourangels.com. Then find a friend that you can share your insights with, and maybe together you can do it. And check back often, and we will be able to help you out in that way. So I promise you that this silence is a gift. We are bombarded with noise in our society. Television, radio, the offices are crazy with noise, freeways, etc. And the one thing that we really miss and we really are, have been separated from is the silence. So in the first week, my prayer is that you really value and you come to see how wonderful the silence is. And don't worry about what you're thinking about. People think, oh, well, I should be thinking about God or meditating, and just have the intention of having God show you what you need to think about. And believe me, you're going to discover these certain things that keep popping up. Eventually what we do is we zero in on those topics, the recurring themes, and then we set goals to try to help heal those situations, etc. Okay, so I hope you have a great week, and we'll check back with you later. Thank you.